1989 BMW E30 M3. Probably one of my favorite cars of all time. Once again, leading a classic car club, Autogasm, north of Manhattan, up here on the undulating twists. And it's really hard for me to talk impartially about this car, mainly because I like it so much. So I was thinking about making a video to display how impractical this car is, of which it is very, very impractical. It's got no rear seats, no air conditioning, race seats, 5-point harnesses. You know, there's no reason anyone would want to daily drive this car unless they were sick with loving fast cars and driving a race car on the street, which I absolutely love. In fact, I was on the West Side Highway a few weeks ago, and a construction worker leaned over and leaned out of his van and said, hey man, why you got all that scaffolding in there? And didn't really have an answer for him. But what I should have said was, I'm building speed. That would have been awesome. But anyway, this E30 M3 is far from stock. Like I said, it's got full roll cage, race seats, minor engine upgrades. It's got a upgraded cam to give it a little bit better low-end torque, and an upgraded ECU as well, which really does make a big difference. Stock E30 M3s have zero low-end torque, so it totally helps to get that extra little boost there. And I talk a lot of times about how I prefer a lower horsepower car, which is very true. In fact, higher horsepower cars can be a boatload of fun, but you need the space. You need either a track or some kind of big empty stretch of road to really enjoy all that power, because on public streets, you use maybe 20-30% of that 600 horsepower that's in the McLaren. So a little bit about the handling on this car. It's got no power steering. Very, very direct. You feel everything on the road, every little bump, but in a race car, that's what you want. Hans Stuck on the set had a really funny quote. I don't remember exactly how it went, about feeling everything in a race car through your bottom. So your bottom is like the ultimate sensor when you're driving a race car. It's very true in this car. We take this car to the track all the time, and I gotta say, there's nothing more satisfying than forcing passes on a brand new M3 in this 25-year-old 4-cylinder BMW. It's so light that you can really toss it around. Very, very confidence inspiring. The way that it handles through these corners, just wants to go faster and faster. Although I do have to remember that I'm on the street tires right now, and when I'm on track, we've got the R competitions on it. Just big extra grip factor there. And honestly, if there was much more horsepower, it would be fun, but it would be much more likely that you'd lose it mid-corner or something like that. aggressive, the way the power comes through. Really, really nice. Everything's shaking and rattling around me, you know. Very raw. It's a very raw experience. No traction control, no ABS. It's all just me in the car. And I love that. I wouldn't have it any other way. Compared to modern sports cars, you know, they're always kind of looking after you. You get too much on the gas mid-corner, you start to spin the wheels, it cuts power. It saves your ass, you know? Whereas this car, there's none of that. It's all up to you. And it's kind of humbling, but it also forces you to be very, very aware of the road, not only the road surface, but also how the car is reacting to it. I read a post on Jalopnik yesterday talking about how an old 911 is the best car to learn on. And my first thought was that if every new driver was forced to not just drive, but totally push to the limit an old 911 before they were able to get their license, two things would happen. All the shitty drivers would die, first of all. Second of all, everyone else driving around would be drifting ass out on a, like Jeremy Clarkson in a not-for-TV DVD featuring only Clarkson called like Velocity or High Gear or something crazy like that. Drivers.